My name's Simonized, and welcome to another Simonized Guide video. Today, we're talking about professions in Wrath of the Lich King, specifically for rogues and specifically for PvE content. I said in the thumbnail, this would not be your average profession guide video, so straight away, I'll tell you what's special here. Instead of telling you, oh, look at this super powerful hyperspeed accelerators, engineering is BIS, guys. I've used a spreadsheet gear analysis tool to give estimated DPS gains for each profession, for each spec, in each phase, so you can see how much better the best in slot professions are and decide for yourself what professions you want. For the most part, the combat benefits provided by professions in Wrath are much more balanced than they have been in Vanilla or Burning Crusade. That being said, the best profession hasn't changed. It's still engineering, and oh boy, the Wrath of the Lich King version of engineering is pretty busted, providing both very strong DPS increases as well as a lot of utility benefits for your character both in and out of combat. The DPS benefits of engineering are mostly from the Hyperspeed Accelerator's glove enhancement and the explosives. The Hyperspeed Accelerators replace your normal glove enchant and give you an activated ability to gain 340 haste rating, which is about 10% haste at level 80, for 12 seconds on a 1-minute cooldown. This is super good as rogues really excel at stacking cooldowns together to gain huge amounts of damage, so having yet another cooldown to stack up is just great. Unlike previous expansions, the new version of the Sapper Charge can only be used by Goblin Engineers in Wrath of the Lich King, so most people are going to want to go for Goblin Engineering. Both the bombs and the Hyperspeed Accelerators are temporary effects with a cooldown. This type of effect is usually stronger in practice than it is in a simulation tool because in practice, a good portion of that cooldown time ticks down while you are out of combat or can't be dealing damage anyways. In practice, your percentage uptime of the hyperspeed accelerators during actual DPS time is higher than a simulation tool would suggest. Engineering also gets some utility in the Nitro Boost's boot enhancement, which gives access to another sprint type effect for quick movement. This is great. You can very often utilize this to gain more time spent damaging enemies and less time moving between enemies. Okay, so I promised numbers. Here are some numbers for you guys. These are figured by starting with a best in slot setup in each phase without professions on a 3-minute boss fight, then adding engineering to see the estimated DPS gain. We'll fill up the rest of this chart as we go on talking about the other professions. Next, we can group together a few professions that all provide plus 80 attack power in some form. Leatherworking gives the fur lining plus 130 attack power, which is plus 80 better than the Greater Assault Bracer enchant. Inscription gives the Master's Inscription of the Axe, which is plus 80 attack power better than the Exalted Sons of Hodier's Shoulder enhancement, and also allows you to skip that annoying reputation grind. Enchanting gives access to the Ring Enchant Assault for 40 attack power on each ring for 80 attack power total. Alchemy gives Mixology bonus, which gives increased effect and duration on flasks and elixirs, amounting to about plus 80 attack power. I tried to research exactly how much bonus Mixology will give when used with Flask of Endless Rage and couldn't find a definite answer. I couldn't find reliable information from other sources either, so for now I've just evaluated it as 80 attack power, and I will tell you to just wait and see when the Wrath beta comes out. No one seems to actually know how much this ambiguously worded benefit will actually give. Anyways, these are all just 80 attack power gain in one way or another, making them definitely weaker than engineering. Let's add them to the chart here and move on to the gathering professions. Of all 3 gathering professions, only skinning provides a benefit that increases our damage output, so we'll ignore mining's stamina bonus or herbalism's healing ability. Skinning gives Master of Anatomy for plus 40 critical strike rating. Point for point, critical strike is not great, and generally 2 attack power is better than 1 critical strike rating, so that makes skinning rank below the standard plus 80 attack power benefits of most professions, and it pretty much sucks. I'd like to take just a moment here and ask if you enjoy this video, and if you enjoy my work, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like. I look at the likes and subscribes on each of my videos to help decide what content you guys want the most, so vote with your likes and subscribes. Okay, back to professions. Next up is everyone's favorite Wrath profession to shill for, Jewelcrafting. Jewelcrafting provides powerful Dragon's Eye gems to give a stat benefit that can be realized in attack power, hit rating, armor penetration, or whatever stat you desire. These take up gem sockets, so they're directly compared to the normal gems you would put in those sockets. This means Jewelcrafting is relatively more powerful when you only have access to rare quality gems, and relatively less powerful when you have access to epic gems. The raw benefit is above the standard 80 attack power, and the flexibility of choosing what stat you want is very nice, especially while gearing up in each new phase. Jewelcrafting is definitely a top choice for a raiding profession in Wrath of the Lich King. Similar to Jewelcrafting, Blacksmithing's benefit depends on the quality of gems you have access to. Blacksmithing allows you to get an extra gem socket in your bracers and in your gloves. With rare quality gems, this is roughly plus 64 attack power, and with epic quality gems, this is roughly plus 80 attack power. But you could choose other stats as well, just like with Jewelcrafting. In later phases, this is nice when you actually want to be gemming something other than raw attack power. Unlike Jewelcrafting, Blacksmithing kind of sucks. The benefit is worse or on par with the standard plus 80 attack power benefit for most phases, and then only slightly more valuable in later phases of the game. Finally, we come to Tailoring. Tailoring is great because you get to fly around on a magic carpet and you can craft extra Gordok ogre suits mid-raid, and that alone should make it BIS. I'll bet you didn't come here for fashion tips though, so let's talk about the combat benefit of Tailoring. The Sword Guard Embroidery Cloak Enchant. This is a pretty amazing cloak enchant, providing a plus 400 attack power buff for 15 seconds when it triggers. The best information I could find about this says it has a 45-second internal cooldown and a 20% chance to trigger when it is not on cooldown, so that is how I've modeled it in my spreadsheet. Similar to the engineering cooldowns, a proc effect like this is usually better in practice than it is in a gear analysis tool, because that cooldown can count down while you are between enemies or out of combat. This makes Tailoring another very good choice for a rogue focused on PvE in Wrath of the Lich King. With that, we've now completed the chart, listing all professions that provide combat benefit. If you're looking to min-max your PvE performance, I'd suggest either engineering and Jewelcrafting or engineering and Tailoring. Both of these are fine choices, and you won't really have a meaningful difference between them. Personally, I intend to make both of my rogue characters engineering plus tailoring, and I'll be looking to maximize damage by stacking cooldowns with the tailoring cloak buff, the engineering glove enhancement, and all the wonderful burst cooldowns that rogues get. I said at the start of the video that professions are actually pretty balanced in Wrath of the Lich King, so let's look at a slightly different version of this chart to help you understand that. This shows the percentage gain instead of raw gain in DPS for your character in each phase. You can see that the difference between picking the literal best two professions and the literal worst two professions in the final phase is only about 0.69% difference in your character's damage output. That is not nothing, but really it's not a big deal if you want to be Inscription and skip that stupid Sons of Hodir reputation grind or whatever else pleases you. That's it for Wrath of the Lich King professions. I'm super excited for Wrath of the Lich King, and the last tip I'll give is to buy materials for leveling your intended profession sooner rather than later. I'd bet that just like with the launch of Burning Crusade, all the profession leveling materials will spike in price around launch when everyone's re-rolling professions. Thanks for watching the Simonized Show. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Can't wait for more sweet videos? Links are on screen that you can watch right now. Be sure to join the Discord server and pop by on Twitch to catch me live. Links to both are in the video description. Thank you for watching and have a great day.